We're coming to you live from BW3's in Amarillo, Texas, as we make our way home from the Winter Extreme out in Tucson, Arizona. I am sitting here barside with Derek Kessinger, D-Swab. It's been a long 2 weeks out here in the desert. It's colder than hell. Gee, many Christmas it was cold. We finally warmed up the last day. We see some 70-degree weather. And the $10,000 feature was a pretty good one. Started out with Billy Moyer taking the lead. And last year's winner, Morgan Bagley in tow. But about 20 laps in, it looked like he made a move. Looked like he might have been on his way sailing to another win, but not so fast. Here comes Shane Clanton in the Capital Race Cars. The Capital Race Cars had a strong showing out in Arizona. Started at Casa Grande with Tim Fuller. Tim comes over to the Tucson International Raceway, had a good showing, but Clanton brings home the big money. Supposed to get a call from him in the next 10 minutes. Everybody's traveling home from Arizona, so it's going to be hit and miss. Will Vaught was also a winner out at the Tucson International Raceway. Put a hell of a move on Jimmy Mars with about 3 or 4 laps to go. You guys go to dirtondirt.com, you can see the move. It was like just a 90-degree turn as Mars washed up the racetrack. And then Vaughn rocketed to the win. I think every night we had a different winner out there. It was pretty good racing. Also on the program tonight, we got Jeff Curl. He's the gentleman. He's an open-wheel driver from Fowles. Drinking a cold beer.
Drinking a cold beer on the road again.
BW3's in Amarillo, Texas. They have about 7,500 TVs in here, all over on sports. Got D-Swab here, my co-pilot, my co-driver. We're taking the DOD van from Tucson to St. Louis. It's like our own personal fandango.
So take one of those computers you got with you, and I'm sure that all those little flat screens they got, and make sure you plug in Dirt on Dirt and replay the Wild West Shootout on one of the screens in the B-dubs there. You know,
we have the van, the Dirt on Dirt van, we have every known piece of cable known to man. We could probably do a TV show from right here at B-dubs.
Now, it's been the last 2 shows. This is going to be 3 that you've been on the road. When are you getting back home? I mean, when are you going to get back in the studio so we can understand what the heck's going on?
I understand it. It's been a tough few weeks. I'll have one home show Monday. Then I leave for Ocala on Tuesday. I think I'll do 2 or 3 shows in Florida.
So what are you guys actually using down there to broadcast with? Are you just doing this from an iPhone?
Just doing it from an iPhone. That's all we got.
And then the other question is I mean, is Capital Race Cars paying us yet for all this publicity?
You never know. 2013 is going to be a different year for it.
Yeah, okay. And I get that feeling, too. But if we don't get these remotes worked out so that we could do this stuff, we're going to have some issues. We got to get you back in the studio.
I understand. We just got to tough it out.
So what were some of the highlights? What did we all miss while you were out there?
Derek Kessinger, D-Swab, is on with us. D-Swab, what was your impressions of the races out at Tucson?
They were pretty good. 6 nights of racing, 6 different winners in Tucson. That was pretty good. The track was good. They might have been a little slow at times where you're working the track, but you get that sometimes in dirt track. But I think at the end of the night, the racing was good. So that was overall great that they did that to work the track good. Some tracks just let it go and rubber up and don't even care what the races look like. They're just there to make their buck. But Tucson really tried really hard to make the racing good, and it actually was good.
Hammer down.
T-Swab, have you been watching Ricky Bobby today?
I mean, I watch it every night. I watch it before I go to bed every night.
Track was good. Crew was good.
Well, to be honest with you, the first night it was hammer down, and they tried to rain it out with the water truck. It just was fast. And then, well, it wasn't the first night. It was Wednesday night. They tried to rain it out. Friday and Saturday night, they had a top groove and a bottom groove, but the middle was dry as hell. So, like Billy Moyer instantly went to the top looking for moisture. Clanton went to the bottom Saturday looking for moisture. But overall, good race out there. Better than last year, I thought.
So, and I did happen to notice that in the last night was the final night, right?
Yes.
Okay, in the final event, I didn't see Jimmy Mars in the feature. What happened with him?
No, he was in it.
He got 6th or 7th.
Really?
He got 5th.
He got 5th, I think.
I was looking at the rundown, and I swear I did not see his name. Maybe it was for They raced Saturday and Sunday then.
Saturday he did do good.
Saturday didn't do good. But the MP Customs did great this past weekend.
Yeah, the whole week, actually.
But
so
Clanton,
I see you're building your car.
Clanton, what's that?
Well, go ahead. Ask me about Clanton.
Well, I see that Clanton and Fuller look like they pretty much cleaned house all weekend.
Yeah, Moyer would just look like, crap. He looked good for the first part of the race on Sunday. And then, long runs, his car just got muddied up. He couldn't keep any momentum. He's a short run guy.
Short run guy, no tire prep guy. That's what he was missing, I'm going to guess.
Well, Ben Shelton says that they try a lot out here. Him and his son try a lot out when they're out here in Arizona. But I can't see a race car driver coming to a racetrack not trying to win, especially named Moyer.
Well, after you've won so many times, it's probably just, another walk in the park. We'll just win another one. And maybe they're working on winning 35 races this year.
Could be. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. We're getting a lot of feedback. So I'm going to try to hang up from this number and call in a different number. So you and Slav take over for just a second.
Okay. Hey, who's hanging up?
I am. Webb.
Webb's going to hang up. See?
Yep, that is correct.
All right. Sayonara. See you, host. Look at that. No, we're not going to end the episode. So, what else did we miss out there, Derek?
I don't know. There wasn't too much drama really in the racing, but we missed the epic Dirt on Dirt Pro-Am, first ever Pro-Am for go-karting. We went with Tim Brazil and their crew at a nice little track that the go-karts went about 50 miles per hour, and it was pretty fun. Got the race against the drivers, the media members going up head-to-head against the drivers and pit crew. Webb did the best out of the Dirt on Dirt crew, actually.
Ooh. Hey, there he is. He's coming back now. Maybe.
Are we talking about the go-kart?
Yes, we are.
Yeah, the go-kart racing out. See, but you're making it sound like the go-kart racing was more interesting than the actual dirt racing.
Well, for us, DirtOnDirt.com Pro-Am. You tell them David Brazil was there?
Yep.
Oh, listen, we found these go-karts, and they're like, they're not your putt-putt go-kart. And yours truly was a high-definition media member. I had about the 45th best car.
I'd say he had the best car, but, because he weighs the most, so it's actually the fastest car, so.
And you calling me fat?
Big bone.
Well, tell us about what you got going on with your ride. I've seen on Facebook you got a few pictures of your ride going together. How's it coming together for you, Brian?
Dude, I got 3 cars out here, and I managed to work on mine a little bit. So I made a few changes. I was going to go with a full-on wedge body, because there's not going to be any tech on anything. So I thought we would just make a big wing out of it, and then I decided, well, maybe I shouldn't waste that money. So it's coming along. I've got the rule book out. I'm sticking to the rule book, and I'm going to see how much we compare when we show up to everybody else out at the old Moeller Raceway Park, I guess. But the whole BGR Army thing is coming together good. I mean, so far we got in the house. There's 3 cars here, and then. I think the last count was 25 across the country that will be running some of our stuff. So pretty exciting right now.
early in the week, I read something on Facebook that you were going to talk to people out in the Cincinnati area. What was that about?
Well, see, that's another touchy subject because at one point, I had a conversation with a few guys and we talked about tires. We talked about what was it that we could do to make the sport more cost effective. Not so much for traveling guys, but for weekly racers, guys that are just going to run one night a week, or guys that run twice a month. And you have a lot of that across the country. And I've come to the conclusion that about half of the people that we race with on a regular basis, they don't care one way or another. If it all fell apart tomorrow, Webb, I just feel like that it wouldn't even matter to a lot of people. And I really wish that those people would just quit and hang it up and go home and allow the other people that want to race the opportunity instead of, hijacking the sport, so to speak.
Well,
it's just when you bring up the issue of tire rules, and here I'll give it to you right out. I had this conversation with Jim Moon. I did have some chat with Robbie Hensley here in Northern Kentucky, Barry Doss out in Moeller, John Sizemore, just to name a few people. And what I proposed in my proposal was, and not just my proposal, because really it was kind of a thing that me and Jim talked about initially. And now I'm getting messages. But anyway, I really initially talked to Jim Moon about it, and it made very good sense. All right, was you run a tire that is so soft that tire prep is a non-issue. Okay, now forget the issue about what a tire costs. Let's just assume that we went with a Hoosier 1200 compound. That is a super soft tire. It burns up real quick. If you was to put tire prep on that tire, you would absolutely be wasting your time. Not only does that solve the problem of tire prep, having one tire that is so soft you can't mess with it, but it also eliminates the need for those $40,000 and $50,000 engines. Because with all that horsepower, you're just going to burn those tires up. It's going to force guys to, number one, be more conservative on the setups. It's going to alter the way that guys have to drive the car. And it's probably going to force the racetrack by the means of the group, it's going to force the racetrack to not let them dry out so much. So you get good, fast, tacky racing. You don't have to worry about big motor, and you get rid of the tire press. And just those points alone right there was like, I was like, well, that's interesting. Let me run this by a few people. So the first comment were, well, a tire costs $150 a piece, and you're going to burn the $1,200 up. And I said, well, forget about the tire costing $120 a piece, because first off, you're backing up some of the sanctioning bodies. So there's some money they take in. You've got, and we're talking about who's the tire. So what you have to do is you have to find a tire company willing to build the tire. So I put the proposal out there to a few other tire companies, and even some that aren't in dirt late model racing right now. And I got some really great response to that. And I'm talking quickly. And the best response I got was, well, we could build this tire for about $75. Then now we're talking.
That's when the trouble started.
Okay.
Is that when your trouble started?
What's that?
Is that when the trouble started?
Oh yeah. No. The trouble isn't even about to start yet. What the trouble is going to start when I bring a $50 tire into the dirt late model scene and eliminate the need for Hoosier altogether. Webb, it's getting crazy. we're not getting good tires anyway. And if I got a tire company that off the bat says they can do this for $75 a tire, and you just make it a rule, hey, how it comes grooved to you is how you got to race it. No siping, no grooving, and you don't have to worry about tire treatment. You can continue Saturday night racing, and you don't need crate mode, and you don't need $50,000 engine, and you force guys to drive the cars conservatively. And the other good point is that you're on a soft tire. So at the beginning of the features or the beginning of the heat races, when everybody's out of control because their tires are too hard, you got guys that's got grip, and you got guys. You're going to have cars that are raceable. You're going to have guys that are going to want to drive hard. It's going to make it interesting again. And if you want an open tire rule and you want 40 different compounds of tires, well, you've got Lucas Oil, you've got the World of Outlaws, and you can go on the UMP Summer Nationals if you want tires.
Well, the tire game is what it is.
We don't need 20 different compounds of tires. I think we need one.
Well, it looks like we have our first caller on, and let's go ahead and go to the phone lines. Welcome to the program. Is this Shane?
This is him.
Hey, Shane, it's Web Diller. What's going on, brother?
Oh, driving up the road. How are you?
I'm drinking a cold beer at B-Dubs in Amarillo, Texas. We have taken a pit stop. You guys are in Mississippi. When did you guys leave from Arizona?
As soon as the race over last night, probably 7 o'clock or so.
Damn it, I wish I was home. Now listen, yesterday's race was fantastic. Moyer took off. Looked like pure Moyer from the beginning. Bagley, chased him down, passed him. But here comes the 25, the green and black. Talk to us about the first part of the race in the 25 capital car.
Well, first part of the race, they filled the bottom there, and it was kind of greasy getting in both corners. We didn't run it completely in, and they had a couple water spots there where they had filled it and brought moisture back up. And I hit them a couple of times and got pushed in the middle of the racetrack and got past, actually. And I knew I had a pretty good car because if I hit it just right, I could run right back home. So I kind of did my time there a little bit and just picked them off one at a time. And it finally got to back to fifth there, and we lined up on a double pop restart, and I was on the outside, which outside at that time was just a little bit better. And then we got back to third and got back to second. And run Moyer down there, and he started letting up in 3, and I just got a good run and turned left and slid him in 3 and 4 and got the lead. And
you guys led from there on. You guys led the better part of the race. Did you guys go up top and drop back to the bottom and go back at top again to kind of make Moyer rethink what he was doing? Because it looked like you were almost toying with him.
Well, I mean, it got so treacherous in turn 1 that I was afraid I was going to jump the cushion into the fence I'd be and end the fifth day. I was just trying to protect my race car more than anything. When you get out the lead, it's easy to set the pace, and I thought I was keeping up. I was carrying good speed through the bottom of 1 and 2, so I just wanted to protect my race car, just beat it to the ground. Because when I was trying to catch him, I was racing pretty hard to catch him there on the top and taking more chances than I wanted to. And then when I got the lead, it's easier to, like I said, just to slow down and run a good steady pace. And then when my crew guy in the infield told me he was getting close, I messed up a little bit too much in 1 and 2, and he almost slid me in 3 and 4. And I just got back up on the wheel the last 4 or 5 laps and just run the top and just make sure I didn't mess up.
How hard is it to run a racetrack several nights in a row? And they almost gave you guys a different look each night. I mean, Wednesday night, track was just, greasy, slick. It was almost non-raceable. But how difficult is it to prepare for the same track each night when it may be different?
Well, the worst thing is being on a hard tire. Wednesday night, we could have been on the softest tire that Hoosier makes, which has been 1100s, and we could have run 4 1100s all night long. And then you come Sunday, you need at least 2 55s, probably 3. But you could have got away with a little soft leopard tire, and probably would have been a better race because somebody could have creeped around that bottom and used that bottom better than that top was if it had a softer leopard tire on. So, I mean, for them to be different every night that we go out there, it doesn't make it trying on 55s, but it wouldn't be so bad if we had open tires.
What was the driver's demeanor on Wednesday? It kind of, we were on the Dirt on Dirt pay-per-view crew, and it kind of matriculated up to us that maybe some of the drivers weren't as happy with the speedway as they could have been. Was the track that treacherous on Wednesday night?
It was pretty treacherous. It's not that, we burned one lane in, but then when guys go to the bottom and so they climb up there, that middle lane that was dried out gets just as greasy as that bottom. And then when you got wet in the top, if you miss it, you're going to be in the fence. There was a couple of cars that hit the fence pretty hard and tore up good race cars. And it's not that the racetrack wasn't trying to make it better. It was, I don't know, there's a couple times they just put too much water on it late that could have been prevented. And it's easy for me to say that because I go to so many different racetracks across the country, so it's easy to see where they make their mistakes. But when they at least they tried. I mean, they put the water to it trying to make it a better racetrack, because Saturday and Sunday it did kind of streak up Sunday real bad, and he was worried about it then that he couldn't get it rolled back up and to take no water Wednesday.
Wednesday's racetrack reminded me of that night at Brush Creek when you won the Harley. That first feature was so slimy and hammered down. That kind of give you the same impression?
Well, I mean, that was at Brush Creek that night. It was just slimy in the bottom. This place was slimy all over. It's like they couldn't get it dried out. When I guess you're in the desert, and when you do give it a lot of water and it gets that first load and it don't fill it so deep, the second load you don't take much to make it a mud hole, and that's what it was.
That's right. Now, we talked by text last week when we had Tim on, talking about his victory. You guys said that the Capital guys found a lot of speed out there the first couple of days. Do you feel like you guys carried that speed all the way through, and what the rest of the season hold for the Capital, especially the Kennedy Motorsports Capital?
Well, I mean, we definitely got the speed right now. I should have won two of them. I won one, and I was fast all week long. It wasn't that we wasn't fast. We should have been at least in the top 10 every single race. So I had a rear end failure there, but I mean that's why they call it racing. It's part of it. But overall, our speed is it's up there. We started in the back a lot of nights and raced our way to the front. Fuller hit 2 wins in 2 seconds. It's hard to say that he wasn't probably the dominant car out there the whole 3-week span there. So we're really excited about what we got going on right now, and for Pat Nord to run third last night. And he struggled a little bit at the beginning of the week, but he had speed. He's just getting used to the race car all the first time he'd been in one. Finally, at the end of the week, he gave a good run. That's pretty exciting for him, too.
Now, post-race last night, Pat Nord and a couple of the top 5 finishers were throwing rocks at you. I mean, what kind of respect is that?
Well, I don't know. I told him I was going to get one before the end of the week, and if everything fell in place, and it just fell in place for me. They all knew I had a fast car, and they always teased me. If you were to start in the top 5, you could win a race for sure, and we got lucky and started in the top 5.
All right, well, looking ahead, you guys obviously are going to be heading down to Florida. You guys looking forward to that, maybe for the warmer weather at least?
Well, definitely. I mean, it was warm this past weekend. We got some more work to do. I'm going to head home now and go build 2 cars and be ready for Georgia there in February 8th tonight. We're, like I said, we're really excited what we got going on right now. We know we got speed if we can just carry it through and not have those part failures. We're looking for a real good season.
Well, congratulations to the Kennedy Motorsports crew for a hell of a trip out to Arizona. There's no way you guys could be disappointed. And tell Marshall I need to get him on the show. He's got to be tickled pink with how 2012 worked out and how 2013 started. But congratulations to you, and good luck in the coming weeks.
Well, we appreciate it. Yeah, definitely Marshall and the guys at Capitol have worked real hard while we're out here and getting more cars done, and we're just steadily working.
All right, before we let you go, Shane, thanks to some of those sponsors.
Thank you.
All right, I guess he didn't want to take a sponsor, but that's fine. Hey, Brian.
Hey, what?
He was on a rail. I mean, you just knew he was coming Sunday afternoon. He found something. They looked, the Capital cars looked fabulous over the weekend. And it wasn't like there were slouches out there. You had Mars out there. You had Simpson out there. You had both Moyers out there. You had the Anderson out there. Tons of drivers out there. Now, it wasn't as big a field as last year. I mean, obviously. But they're going to take these Capital race cars down, to, like you said, to Georgia and Florida and put them on display down there. I think that they'll do well down there. Eric Kessinger wants to chime in.
I'm going to go on and say this out, but I think Shane Clanton will be a dark horse to win the World of Outlaws championship. I feel like they got those Kennedy cars dialed in. They won the Dream last year. They struggled a little bit early, but right now they're dialed in, and plus they have an extra 2 weeks of racing in under their belt, so they got their cars set up to be great this year.
I don't know. I'm going to have to. I got to disagree with you, Derek, and it's not just to do it, but it seems like most of the guys that start out really well out west early in the season, I don't know. They don't seem to carry it over through the rest of the year.
Brian, he shrugged his shoulders and said he did say dark horse. Let's keep going. I think he lucked out. I think he lucked out at the did he win the World or he won the Dream? Dream.
Yeah. That's all I got to say about that. But other than that, I mean, Tim Fuller, I honestly think that Fuller's he'll probably have a better shot than Clanton. But they're all going to have to deal with Lanigan because he's coming back this year. And I mean that's
Josh Richards is coming back too. So with the Capital race cars and Josh Richards being back, I think Lanigan's got a little bit more competition on his plate.
Do you think that Josh Richards is even competition for Darrell Lanigan?
Yeah, I do. I think when he came back, his first race back, he won. Lanigan was at that race. I mean, I'm not hating on Lanigan. I mean, I just think the World Outlaws was weak last year. I think he had very little competition.
Oh, I would totally agree with that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to.
But see that. Yeah, no. Oh, no. I wish we had like a real elite series, because I just get this feeling that NASCAR is trying to sneak their little paws in here on this stuff, and they'll end up trying to undermine what we're building. And it just seems like these guys. What's that?
Well, we had our other caller on the line.
Yeah, I totally have no control over the board now. I mean, I can see when they come in, but I don't know. And I'm looking at the bandwidth. It's not burning it up that much. Can you punch him in?
Yeah, I'll punch him real quick. Let's welcome to the program our next guest. Will, is this you, Will Vaught? Hello.
I'm here.
Hey, Will, what's going on, brother?
Oh, I thought I might have messed up calling you guys here.
No, you did well. Sometimes when we get guys talking like Shane was talking, we don't want to cut them off, and I seen you on hold, so I apologize. But hey, thanks for calling, man.
Yeah,
and I had no way to let you know, Will, that we were holding. We're doing all this stuff remote now because Webb's still out on the road. I guess just like the rest of you guys.
It's all good. I made it home about 2 o'clock today, so I'm sitting in the race shop right now, trying to recoup a little bit.
We did. Listen, we left Tucson this morning at about 5:30. We got the dirt van, all the equipment that we used for the pay-per-view, and actually there'll be a movie on Facebook later. So if you want to check out the movie. Now, Will, your guys' Warrior race car, you guys did really well this weekend. Besides having the win and passing Mars late, talk about your guys' week out there at Tucson.
Oh, we had a pretty good week. We had, we really didn't know we built this. Sanford and the Warrior built this new race car for us, and we changed it around a few little things, and went out there really for a lot of R&D, and we hadn't lost confidence in what the car was going to do. And then to be able to the Friday night we tested out there, we was pretty good on times. We were just trying to get the car stable, and of course Saturday we had a good run there, and really surprised us, more than anybody. It just the car was pretty good right out of the trailer, and this weekend, this Saturday and Sunday, we didn't have no luck, but it just kind of goes like that out there. It's a draw-on deal and stuff like that, so the results didn't show, but the rest of the week we was very happy with it, and if we had any luck on Saturday, Sunday, we probably had a couple good runs there too, but that just goes along with racing. So we're pretty pleased with it. On the way home, last year we had a bent race car coming home. This year we don't even have the quarter panel yet, so that's a good thing.
Hey, Will, this is Derek Kessinger from Dirt on Dirt. I'm the one holding up the camera all week for you, interviewing you after the post-race and stuff. And, you had a struggling 2012 season, and you got to a good start here in 2013. Do you think this could be a revitalized season for you, and you think you can turn things around here in 2013?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we didn't race near as much as we had been, in 12 there, just because, it's a family-owned deal, and we have a business here to run too, and it takes a lot of time for there. So, last year we had fast race cars about everywhere we went. Just really bad luck, just bit us every time, and that goes along. Everybody has them years, and we're still confident in what we got and our equipment and stuff. And if we get a little breaks, we're going to have a good year. I have full confidence. We work here hard there in the shop, and the guys there at Warrior work hard to get our stuff right, and we're going to travel, as much as we can this year. We'll probably get 40 or 50 shows in, hopefully. These kind of finances go our way, and we'll go from there. But, we're pumped up about this year.
Well, the event you guys won, Mars had took off. He put a half a track on that, just you and third place. At what point did you figure out that you were catching him, and how did you know that he was going to wash up and turn forward, and how did you make that impressive move to get underneath him?
A lot of people said I didn't know where I was doing, but it was, it just, everything played out there. It was meant to be, and good Lord watching after us more than anything. It's meant to be for us to win, and we've been so close the last couple of years to winning a couple of these races, and the first night we were leading with a couple to go, and Fuller got by us, of course, there, and it really bit me pretty hard, and I wasn't going to let another one go. I knew something was wrong with Jimmy. He was pretty good. I started driving the car a lot different. We picked up half-second lap time and started reeling him in, and it was one of them nights that I wasn't going to let. This one of them nights that I had to get up put my elbows up a little higher and not let that one slip out of my fingers.
Well, two things about that race. The first thing is all the Dirt on Dirt guys, we talked to each other during the event. They had to talk to each cameraman to let them know where to shoot, whatever. But the chatter started probably about 5 or 6 laps before you got to Jimmy, and everybody was just like, "Oh hell, here comes Will. Will's coming." And on the outside looking in, we don't know that something's wrong with Jimmy. We just see Will coming, and the move you did, it was like you just slammed the brakes and hit the gas, and that thing rocking. You were like 3 car lengths ahead of him at the flag stand. I mean, did it feel as awesome as it looked?
Well, yeah, it was. It's like I said, he shoved up at the right time, and I went in the corner thinking maybe because I saw him pushing when I was catching him, and I was just thinking he'd gotten tight and couldn't, hitting that slime on the bottom. And like Shane was talking there when I was listening, it was very slimy, and I thought he just. People was throwing up more slime when he caught them lap cars and they wasn't packing down. But, I kind of I tried him on the outside. I couldn't get that to work. And I tried him on the bottom, and, I didn't have enough room there to get past him. So I knew I was going to have to pull something out of my butt. And that was kind of what happened there. He shoved, and I turned the car. And we had a good car. It was pretty maneuverable there the last 5 laps of the race. So, he couldn't pass lap cars, and I blew on by him. So that kind of, showed a little bit of the maneuverability of our Warrior race car.
Did you go over to the 27 car Bartles and say, "Hey, thanks for being in his way"? Because he struggled Bartles struggled to get around Bartles. It took for like 6 laps.
Yeah, that boy, he's a pretty good racer, and actually he cost me I don't know a win, but maybe a top 2 or 3 with I think that was last Friday night. I caught him lapping, and I was catching Moyer and Phillips there, and I couldn't pass him either. So he has a real wide racer. I don't know if his bodies are perfectly legal, but I don't know about it. But that just goes along with racing.
Hey, my co-host is Brian Gray. Hey, Brian Gray, how many cars out there are too wide, illegal and too wide?
They all are, every one of them. All the ones you guys are racing out there out west are illegal. Have you looked at have you read the rule book?
They don't check a whole lot of stuff out there, I'm telling you.
They don't check a lot of stuff anywhere, Will. And I talked to some guys. I really was going to build like this big freaked out wedge car with like a 64-inch long roof and the whole 9 yards.
Wouldn't that look cool? I bet it'd probably dominate out there.
Well, I figured if you get enough metal up in the air, you should have enough downforce. You wouldn't have to worry about what shocks and springs you run because the air should just hold it to the ground, right?
Yeah, that's right. Freddie Smith was out there with us all weekend, and we got to talking about his big wedge cars back in the day, and we were talking. He raced the Bulls Gap with that big, 10-foot wing. I'm sure you guys saw pictures of it or whatever. And he said, man, you just gas on it. You don't have enough power. But that would be cool to have something like that.
Well, you could, and that's what I heard from other guys too. Charlie Swartz said that you basically just about anywhere you went, you could just lay into the throttle and go. It would never come out from under itself.
I know. It's with the motors we have now compared to what they had then. I don't know how fast. And I don't know if they stay on the ground. They'd probably be up in the air somewhere.
Well, if the Indy cars, if they had wings, they said they'd fly. So maybe we're pushing that envelope with the late models.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, Will, before we let you out of here, buddy, congratulations on the big win. You mentioned that you're going to get out more, you're going to travel more. What's coming up in the coming weeks for Will Vaught Racing?
Oh, we've heard a motor out there. We're going to get regrouped here a little bit. Got to get a motor freshened and just kind of regroup there for 1st of March. We ain't going to go to Florida. Finances don't really, pay off for us to drive all the way down there for tire bill and all. But we'll start there probably first week in March. Maybe go to Clarksville for the couple races, or even Texas Motor Speedway. We had pretty good luck down there, and probably that Arkla Tech race there, that 10,000 race. Second week in March. So that's kind of when our schedule's going to start back up. We're just, like I said, we're going to get everything back in line. We didn't tear up a whole lot of stuff, but we kind of got a baseline to go off of now for the beginning of the year on our Warrior race cars. So we're just going to go from there and shoot for the moon for this year.
All right, brother. Before we let you get out of here, I want you to thank all them sponsors that got you to Arizona and put you in victory lane, bud.
You were out there. You're out in the West all weekend, and you can choose not to answer if you like, but would you let Jimmy Mars dump you when you were leading the race and let him get away with it?
Oh, man, you had to say that, didn't you?
It's just one of those things. Would you let somebody just spin you out and get away with it? Do they just get away with it? Do you just shrug it off? You don't have to say what you would do.
It would be tough to not say something. I think I heard Brad say something to him. I was right behind him, and Jimmy did not deliberately spin him out. I'll vouch for him. He was driving. Brad started driving defensive, and Jimmy had the best car.
Well, we already got over that. I already said Brad wussed out.
I ain't gonna say. I've grown up over. I've got suspended so many times I can't even count on one finger now or one hand now. So
he chose not to answer, Webb, and all the fans are disappointed.
I like the fact that I got suspended so many times I can't remember. That's awesome.
I'm gonna try to keep that to a minimum now.
Okay, well, since you breached the subject, Will, and listen, we're not Dirt on Dirt, and we're not Late Model Illustrated. We're in the dirt. We do our own things. We ask different questions. But
yeah, that's all right.
Talk to me about that little nose-to-nose situation you had that did get you in trouble. You were so mad that you just pushed this race car in the infield.
Can you talk about that at all if you want to?
That was kind of a bad deal. You know, actually that whole story brewed a year and a half before that even happened, and you know, if it had been anybody else, it probably would never even happen. You know, and it just kind of hit a man wrong. Like I said, and I said it back then, I take a lot of pride in what I do, and I know you guys know that all of us drivers put a lot of time and effort, and to win the races and run good, and especially the Show Me 100, and to go out there and get dumped, and it just hit a man wrong. I probably won't ever do it again, I'll tell you that, but you know, I don't think you've ever seen anybody push anybody backwards through the pits. I probably won't ever see it again, so I'll be remembered for that if I don't ever win a world or a dream.
Oh, well.
Webb, that translates to we don't F around, we F up and down.
There you go.
Well, all right, Will, before we get out here, bro, I want you to thank some of the sponsors that put that car in victory lane, and thank you again for joining us this evening.
I appreciate you guys having me. I enjoy it. Call me anytime. But first of all, man, I have to thank Sanford Goddard and Freddie Smith for coming out there and helping me from Warrior Race Cars, and the guys there at Warrior at the shop just put a lot of time and effort in this new car, and obviously it's a pretty good piece. So, and Circle M Auto Sales, Integra Shocks Springs, you know, Kaiser at Port City Racing, they help us a lot with the parts, putting things together, and iBlock Springs, GW Performance, Gary Winger got us a good set of shocks and put us up front all week, and you know, I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of people, Midwest Sheet Metal, and a lot of product sponsors and stuff like that. So, you know, it takes everybody to put this thing together, especially a low-budget team like ours.
All right, Will. You now become a veteran of In the Dirt, and we will call upon you later in the 2013 season, brother.
Do it. I appreciate it, guys.
All right, Will Vaught, victor over the weekend. Now, Brian, I'm going to put Derek Kessinger and you together. You guys are going to close the show with Jeff Curl. So I'm going to hand over the mic and the headphones to Derek. Oh, by the way, special announcement, Brian Gray.
Uh-huh.
Not that Kyle May is not welcome. Kyle May is welcome any time on the program because he was with us from the beginning. And Kyle May has a microphone anytime he wants to here on the show. You agree, right?
Yeah. Yeah, what? Cool. Somebody saying we kicked Kyle off?
No. But my boy D-Swab, Derek Kessinger, has asked me to join the In the Dirt team on a weekly basis. So you have a vote, and I have a vote. So what do you vote?
I don't know. Does he F around?
He doesn't F around.
I just had to say that, dude. My buddy comes up to me and told me that the other day. I was like, no way. I got to use that sometime.
Well, he don't F around, and he is the biggest ambassador of America's racetrack, which is Fairbury American Legion Speedway in Illinois. So I'm gonna turn the show over to you and him, and you guys talk to Jeff Curl.
Is Jeff Curl on the now? See, you've got to hook this up down there on your end, because why does my screen have no buttons?
Welcome to the show, Jeff Curl, the Quiet Riot, the Quiet One. How's it going?
Not bad, D-Slav. How are you doing tonight?
We're doing great. We have a question for you. I told Webb Dillard about your two nicknames, and
oh my,
kind of figure out which one you want to stick with. I like the Quiet One better, but apparently you're the Quiet Riot, and we want to know the story behind the two.
All right. Well, I'll be quick about it, but you know, basically we started from next to nothing in the modified ranks. Drove nothing before, and just decided to buy modified and build the program up. And about 7 years into it, I just kind of snuck up on everybody, and one night I was fast qualifier at America's track, as Webb would say, Fairbury. And the next week I won a feature, and they had a radio show back in the day on one of the local FM stations, and one of the announcers and a co-host talked about, you know, this Jeff Curl sneaking up on the competition and winning last week's feature, and the term the quiet one was said, and Mike Norris, the track announcer there, just kind of went with this. So it stuck for a while, and then anybody who knows me out there, which hopefully I recruited a few hundred people listening tonight, but they know I'm not quiet. I can talk with anybody, and anybody who's seen me coach on the sidelines in basketball knows I'm definitely not quiet. So we had to evolve that into like the Quiet Riot. And but either way, it's nothing crazy, but it's kind of nice to have a null nickname too. It's just stuck with us for merchandising and stuff like that. But that's the story behind the Quiet One, Quiet Riot. Maybe we'll do a little poll to see which one the fans like better.
Now, Jeff, just your quick opinion. If they had modifieds in the South, do you think we would see crate late models?
I don't think so.
Everybody would be in a modified, wouldn't they?
That would have been a crate. I think so. If there wasn't a demand for it, it'd be tough to build one. That's what you're seeing in the Midwest a little bit. With it's starting to get there, but not there yet. So they'll kind of be that intermediate between a street stock or a sportsman and then the super late models. So,
right, and my grounds for even asking that question is because I had a guy. How long you been in this business? I mean, how long you been a driver?
This will be my 12th year.
12 years in the business. So you're probably pretty familiar with all the tire stuff that goes around here and there. Do you think you need a $40,000, 850 horsepower motor in your modified to win?
Maybe not to win, but to start up front with some of the formats that go on in racing. Maybe not 40, but you better have 25 to 30.
Okay.
And that's basically because with the qualifying being so crucial and the tracks being a little bit more, especially in our area, black dirt, a lot of moisture, you've got to have horsepower to get through that stuff. And but once feature time comes around, I love my small motor better when it comes race time.
Jeff, we know that you started. I saw you back in the day with that box car you first bought, and now you're booed up the ranks, getting equipment, working hard to get your stuff. But now I hear that you're going.
Harsh words, Derek.
I'm sorry, but now I hear you're going to Florida Speed Week. So tell us about your schedule this year.
Well, we got an opportunity to get down to Florida this year. I've always wanted to go. It's more of a prestige thing, and we've done well enough on a local and regional level that, I think it's just the next evolution in what we're trying to do is compete at a high level. And getting down there and racing just gets our name out there more. And hopefully we can go down there and compete as well as we do here in the Midwest. And we'll see what happens. We like to chase UMP points. We don't really say we're going after, championships or national championships or state championships. But if you can get out there from day one and start getting some points early, your name starts to go on the website as being in the top 10, 15. And, hopefully we can carry that through to the end of the year and, again, get back up on stage in Springfield next January with a few more trophies.
All right, we're talking about, I always bring up to Webb that Fairbury's God's country and it's America's dirt track. Tell the listeners out there why Fairbury, I'm not just being cliche, like it is literally, I go to plenty of races in the summer and nothing is like Fairbury. Tell why our fans are so dedicated and why Fairbury is such a great racetrack. Well, it is big, it definitely is. I'm not taking anything away from any other track we've raced at. We've been at a bunch of tracks. But the camaraderie and the atmosphere at Fairbury is truly unlike any I've been to. It is a World 100 atmosphere on a weekly night. And we're talking about the grills and the campers and the beverages. And it's just amazing. After the races are over, there are multiple rigs still parked there when we go back in the morning. It's just, and I can't really put my finger on why it is that way, but you've got a lot of dedicated people running the track. You've got a lot of racers who've raced there for a long time, a lot of multi-generation racers, a lot of second-generation drivers, and I think it's just something that in the area has become a staple. And, I grew up watching the races since I was a wee kid. I was the kid tugging on race suits trying to get autographs, and it's kind of nice. It's kind of neat that now I'm the one where the kids are tugging on my race suit to get my autograph. It's been quite an evolution, and it's been a fun ride. We're talking about Fairbury again. Once again, the Prairie Dirt Classic was in Labor Day weekend, but it's getting kind of watered down with local tracks or local drivers, which is I'm nothing against that, but they decided this year to make a big show at the end of July with $20,000 2-day World of Outlaws sanctioned feature event. And can you talk about that? You think that race could bring Fairbury to prominence and onto the national level?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, everybody's been begging for a big sanctioned race at that track for a long, long time. So, you know, in all honesty, I think there's just a little bit of pressure there to make sure it's good. You can't control weather in the Midwest, so that's going to be a hot topic. But, you know, they got the dedicated crew and they got the stuff that they can make the track right in a 2-day show. So the only question I've got for everybody is where are we going to put everybody? Because if you're talking 30, 40 stackers in the pit area, man, it's going to be a zoo. But it's going to be fun. It's something they deserve to have, and you know, there's going to be a ton of people there, and it's big for the city of Fairbury and big for the Speedway.
Hey, Jeff, this is Webb Dillard. How you doing, brother?
Good, Webb. How you doing? Thanks for inviting me, by the way.
Hey, not a problem, brother. I know that you're a listener, and you invited me to something, and of course I'm out in Arizona. So, when are you getting to Florida?
I'll be down in Florida the Wednesday that they start practice either at East Bay or Ocala. We have not decided on which track we're going to just yet. I believe that's the 7th of February.
I mean, I'll be there from the 29th until the 2nd at Ocala, and then I'm going to Waycross on the 9th. Are you going to be going anywhere between the 7th and the 9th, or are you going to still be at Ocala?
We're just going to Ocala there, stay on either one of the other tracks, and then headed back home that weekend for the dang real job that gets in the way from our fun racing gig.
I gotcha. Well, Derek, we have added Derek Kessinger to our In the Dirt staff. He's going to be our Illinois kind of the beginning. What would you call Illinois? Like the first part of the list.
There's just there's a plethora of tracks up here. It's crazy. We're blessed with all kinds of different places to go racing. It's really unique. We're just in a good location. So
I don't think I have to tell you, this kid is falls crazy. Like he is like just all I heard all week long was false. Yeah, he wants to start. He wants a fan fund to get me up there.
Well, you know, we were talking about that the other week. I think it was last weekend. Listening to the show, or texting, or Facebook, and you know, well, Jack Sullivan's going to be mayor of Fairbury here when he gets done racing, and we thought maybe he could be on the city council or something like that, because mayor's already taken with Jack. But that'd be sweet. Well, you are welcome to FLS anytime, and all you'd have to do is give somebody a call, and I'm sure we could get you in as a media, as cool as much as you do for the sport. We could probably hook you up there, especially with Dylan D-Swab. He knows everybody up there, so he should be able to get you in.
Listen, Brian Gray got credentials at Eldora, but the fact that we could get credentials at Falls is like 100 times better. We would roll out a serious red carpet for you guys. Now, I have some questions about Falls.
Sure. Come on up.
Today we were looking at Google Earth. Mm-hmm. And I know that Falls, the fairgrounds used to be a horse track.
The outside one was a horse track, yes, at one time.
Okay, can we get the front stretch grandstands any closer?
Well, it's a good question. It's a challenge to the fair board and the race committee. They used to have them there, obviously, for the fair stuff, and they do still have a county fair, so that might be the only challenge there would be they do have grandstand acts and things in front of the grandstands between there and the track, so it'd be tough because the fair still kind of takes some priority and with the grounds, so it'd be a tough sell to El Presidente Jim Scherer. So
I understand that, and I say that in jest. I trust D-Swab's judgment here, and
you'll get in the backstretch. We won't put you on the front stretch. The backstretch is where I was at since I was about 5 years old, and that's where it's at back there.
Listen,
is that like the cult gathering is on the backstretch?
Definitely. I mean, you will be as black as the dirt on the track by the end of the night, and it will be awesome.
Now, as I understand it, it's the closest thing, the tailgating there is the closest thing to college football atmosphere that there is in dirt track racing. Can you confirm or deny?
I'm going to confirm that. In fact, big races such as the one we're going to have in July, there's always a truck or two filled with water and, as D-Swab would say, lovely ladies in the back suntanning. So it's crazy. I will say that. It's crazy. If you've seen any of the Dirt on Dirt, video casts of the Summer Nationals, it's silly. They come parking in 36 hours before it's, race time. It's crazy.
That's right. D-Swab does love the ladies, as he says. Okay, well, Jeff,
let me set the record straight one time real quick. D-Swab here, if you ever need any in the dirt on D-Swab, let me know because
let it rip, dude. What you got?
Hang on. He hasn't mentioned this yet, but, I know him from the Wayback Machine. I used to babysit him as a toddler.
You got
give us the dirty.
The dirty on D-Swab?
Yeah, just one thing, just any random one thing.
One thing, D-Swab, don't let him lube up your Heims on your race car because he might just grab the black paint. That's all I'm going to say.
The Heims on a race car?
Don't let him lube up the Heims on the race car because he might grab the black paint. That's my in the dirt.
Hey, he said you went faster that night.
That's a what do you call that? That's an encrypted message, Webb. I'm telling you.
Oh no, that's not encrypted.
You need to get to the bottom of that.
Serious. That's
hey,
serious.
Jeff, I shared it with him, and he started laughing, and D-Swab said, "Look, Jeff, you went faster that night."
We might have won that night. I can't lie. I don't know. But anyway, I got a question for you, Webb, real quick. I know we're out of time, but how you saw D-Swab, hooping up in out in Arizona, and not too many injuries. I heard we had Michael Rigsby hitting his employees, but other than that, it was pretty fair. How about his game? Not his ladies' game, but his ball game. What is it? Because he'll talk it up a storm, but I want somebody who's
his hoop game.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. I've got a bum wheel. Hang on a second. I'm gonna explain this, D-Swab. I got your back, dog. I've got a bad. My right knee is bad, right? So I spent 3 hours with the Dirt on Dirt crew playing basketball, and how my knee held up, I'll never know. But I enjoyed it thoroughly. I missed the game of basketball. So, with that being said, D-Swab was the class of the field when it came to jump shots.
Oh yeah. Now, Derek, I'm gonna give you some limelight, Derek. Now, would you want to thank anybody in your life that maybe molded you into the basketball player you are? Anybody out there you want to give a shout out to?
Let me ask you real quick. D-Swab,
all right.
Jeff just posed the question. Is there anybody out there that you would like to thank for maybe any of the talents that you have? Now's the time to thank them if you want to.
Oh, boy. Well, this guy right here has been babysitting me since I could walk. So I learned from him back in the mid-'90s. His teams are pretty good. So I think I had a little better jumper. My arch is a little better, but he was definitely a good shooter, good hard player, great coach, great driver.
There you go.
Take Jeff Curl just a little bit.
High basketball coach
as well, too. So it's whatever he wants to think.
That's why I'm number 12. Right there, Derek. D-Swab. I coached Derek at junior high basketball, so I want to make sure that was, that's where his molding of his basketball talent started way back.
He represented well, and he more than smoked Rigsby in Pig. We played Pig a bunch because once we couldn't play 3-on-3 no more because of my bad wheel, we went to the gentleman's game called Pig, and he held his own. He smoked Rigsby pretty good. Rigsby's getting old, getting slow.
Well, we all are. Well, we all are. We don't recoup the next day like we used to.
No. I'm sitting here right now with a swollen leg because of the 3 hours of basketball I played, like an idiot. Well, Jeff, thanks for joining us. Good luck on your trek to Florida. I'm gonna try my damnedest to get up there for the race, World of Outlaws race. Actually,
What?
Gunner has told me to tell you, don't forget about the $5,000 mod race.
Oh yeah, well he's doing the PR thing. We've got a couple new guys helping out with the track, a lot of young blood in there. But talking about the modifieds of February, we don't just have a late model race there. We've got 5 specials from modifieds over 1,200 to win. So they're doing a lot for the modifieds up there. It's all capped off with a Labor Day weekend 5,000 to win modified race. 1 day only show, Saturday, no entry fee. Kind of taking the place of the old Prater Classic. There's going to be, I believe, a 2,000 or 3,000 to win late model race with that 5,000 win modified race. So that's a pretty big deal, and you don't see a lot of tracks put a lot of money in the modified purses, but we sure appreciate it. Around our area, we're blessed to have a lot of good tracks that put some money in the purse for us to keep racing.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, I'm gonna make a deal with you. Can you get me internet at Falls?
I will get you internet at Falls, even if it's on my MiFi.
If we can get up there, we'll do an In the Dirt special from Falls, from the Speedway there for the July show.
That'd be sweet. We'll definitely have to get with D-Swab and look up. I know most of the guys, they work on the track, so we'll figure it out.
All right, Jeff, before I let you get out here, I want you to thank not only your sponsors for the Open Wheel Modified, but I want you to thank the sponsors of Falls, too, before we let you get out of here.
Well, there's a million people that help out with the track. They've got so many local community or businesses that help out financially and from a time standpoint. Our program, it's come a long way. I've need an hour to tell everybody about all my sponsors, but a couple are Pro Tire and Automotive out of Bloomington, Illinois. We've got a new one on board this year. Angus Valley is the most prized possession breeding bull in the United States of America, and it's owned by a group of investors in our area. So we've got a big old bull inside of our car, which I'm ecstatic about. Pontiac RV, Roach Construction, Roger Friedman Racing Engines, Dyer's Rods. I could go on and on, but we've just got so many people help us out, which is allowing us to get out there and race more, try to get our program from a local/regional winner to maybe a national winner. And it all starts in about 2 weeks. We'll give it a shot and see how things go. But no expectations, and thanks a lot for helping me on the show, and I'll be listening every Monday night.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. You guys are welcome anytime. With D-Swab added to the staff here in the dirt, I'm sure we'll talk to you a bunch.
Sounds good. Anytime, guys. You take care.
Jeff Curl with Falls Speedway, also an open wheel modified driver, is going to be making his way down to Ocala for Speed Weeks. Well, Brian, we've come to the end of another program. We've managed to make it on the road once again.
Man, just barely. Hey, it started off rough, but it ended up all right.
It ended up great. Let me just map this out for you. We've done shows from Alabama, of course, right, in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. We've done shows from Georgia, Florida.
We've done shows on the road between Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama.
Arizona, right? Last couple weeks, Arizona.
Yep.
Now Texas.
Amarillo by morning. Isn't that where you're at?
I mean, are we showing...
Who sang that song, Webb?
George Strait, actually.
All right.
Here, hang on a second. Amarillo by morning, up from San Antonio. Everything that I've got is just what I've got on.
Now everybody just turned off the radio.
So, the dedication we've shown, Ryan, is next to none when it comes to dirt track radio, right?
I think that second to none is exactly the facts here.
Now, here's another announcement. In the coming weeks, InTheDirtRadio.com will be born.
Woohoo!
Is XD4 going to be a sponsor on the website?
It better be.
Of course it is.
We got a whole bunch of people coming on board, I believe.
We got BGR, right?
Uh-huh.
BGR, the BG. What do you guys say? How do you say BG Army, right? How do you say it?
The BGR Army.
BGR Army. Okay.
It's
we'll have
it's
that.
a secret. It's a secret as it gets. You cannot become a member.
Am I an honorary member? Am I like the PR guy for that?
You have to be chosen. Only the chosen ones would.
I'm not chosen yet.
Not yet.
Oh my God.
We've got to build you up a little better.
you
gotta make you a little stronger.
Oh, okay. Well.
Got to make you a little stronger. You're going to have to wait on that one.
Okay.
It's an elite task force.
Damn it! Damn it, man! I figure I was in for that.
It's probably best that you're not.
Okay.
It's for your own protection.
Well, let's do this. Hey, Brian, thank you very much for the last how many ever months we've been doing this. You every Monday night, and I promise you, we're going to move this thing forward, and it's going to be good for both of us. Let's welcome D-Swab to the staff. Derek Kesher will join us on Monday night. And as soon as I get home.
And Webb, I was joking. Of course, you're a member.
Oh, listen, brother. No worries. D-Swab is going to be.
Anybody's allowed to be part of my crew. I don't discriminate. We ain't like those other people. D-Swab is welcome too.
D-Swab, you are part of the BGR Army. Brian Gray Racing Rhyming. Yeah. Well, you got to come to Fairbury, he says. You got to come to Falls.
Dude, we do need to do that. Like, go up there and do a remote broadcast, and I'll go up there and race and get my butt spanked by Rodney Melvin.
Rodney Mullen?
It's Melvin.
Melvin, I'm sorry. He won. D-Swab's already said he won.
He did?
Not but he won.
I don't know, dude. We'll have to find out. If I can get me some of those Dyer's rods.
I know a guy that works for Dyer Rods. Well, all right, let's do this. Thank you, Shane Clanton, for joining us. Shane Clanton, congratulations on your big win. Capital Race Cars kicking ass out in Arizona. Thank you very much to Will Vaught. Hey, how about Will? Will's going to be one of our favorite guests, I think.
Yeah, that was pretty good, and it was a good thing that he came out and just said what he wanted to say instead of holding back. We don't need people like that. They don't have to hold back and be fake.
No, Will is one of those dudes I think is just going to tell you like it is. I mean, and for better or for worse.
I think that it's better when people just come out and tell you how they feel. I mean, you don't have to fake it up, guys. Just be who you are. You can say what you want to say. Nobody likes this politically correct bull crap anyway. Hey, by the way, the Mollers announced on looks like March 15th of this year, the DRC Defrost 40, 1,500 to win late models at Moeller Raceway Park. That's March 15th. So that should be a pretty good one, next to the Spring 50 at Florence.
What's this Midwest Compact Series?
Midwest Compact Series, I think, is going to be a pretty good deal. It's something, to promote the compact racing really in, I'm going to say, the Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana region, but I got a feeling it's probably going to venture out a little bit farther. I do know that there might be a website coming. You can contact the DRC. They had more information about that. But I believe that it's going to basically be a points deal for compact guys on a regional level, and not just the local level.
I wanted to find out if I can get some compacts down here back home in the South to maybe come up there and join the Midwest Compact Series. That'd be pretty cool.
Well, we still have to work on that Mason-Dixon 100 idea, dude.
Mason-Dixon 100, a 100-lap compact race.
That right. It might be easier to pull it off with compacts than it would be with late models.
Oh, yeah, and the compact guys with the much passion and hard day guys, we'd have 250 cars.
Right, especially if you could get them like a 10,000 to win race.
Oh, my God. That would be
Could you imagine a 10,000 to win compact race?
Unbelievable. The turnout would be unbelievable. Well, hey, Jody Shannon, get a hold of us. We'll try to make this happen. Know you're listening. Thanks for all you do for In the Dirt. All right, let's do this. Brian, thank you, brother, for joining us. Shane Clanton, thank you. Will Vaught, Jeff Curl, D. Swab, the newest member of In the Dirt. For everybody here at In the Dirt, we are out of here. BW3s. We are fixing to have some chicken wings.